despite different contexts, the European Union is a regional organization that ASEAN looks up to. However, it might also face the same challenges of popular discontent that could fuel extremist or radical elements from capturing state power. And the Southeast Asian region is particularly vulnerable to this because of the diversity of its societies. So therefore, one must pay attention to what extent do factors like globalization produces winners and losers, and how do member states within ASEAN attend to the needs of those losing out in the very competitive nature of globalization. And I think this is where people-to-people exchange as well as education comes in, that ASEAN is able to provide a conducive atmosphere where difference is widely discussed, where it can be successfully tolerated as well as comfortably managed by its member states. And education is of critical importance, but also that ASEAN addresses the wide divides among its members and within its own member states. We know that there is a divide between ASEAN, between the more established members and its newer members, but within each ASEAN country there are also center and peripheral regions that could produce some discontent, and that could fuel likely extremism as well as radicalism and nativism that could also have an impact on trade protectionist policies or support for these kinds of ideas. So I think it's better that ASEAN faces this challenge head-on by through education, but also to making sure that safety nets are put in place, that the losers of economic competition have the ability to rise from their losses and still be able to be part of a regionally integrated economy that is also attached globally. I think one way to really increase tolerance and diversity within Southeast Asia is to really exchange different sources of what I call cultural diplomacy or soft power. A lot of Southeast Asians are, for example, obsessed and are fans of pop culture from different parts of Asia and the world, but there hasn't been a lot of exchanges between pop culture and media in terms of film, TV, as well as music among Southeast Asian countries. And by being more comfortable with what we have culturally, I think can imbue a sense of diversity and acceptance of the different kinds of culture that can coexist in a highly diversified regional community like ASEAN.